Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Or as the Message puts it, you're blessed when you're content with just who you are, no more, no less. That's the moment you find yourselves proud owners of everything that can't be bought. Google defines the word meek as quiet, gentle, or easily imposed on, or submissive. It's closely related to humility. But we have a hard time with those words in our society. It really is a shame that meek rhymes with weak, because that's not what it means. It's a shame that humble and humiliation share the same root. We associate humility and meekness with weakness and fragility. But see, a Clydesdale may be meek and submissive, but that in no way means that he's weak or fragile. To be meek is to harness your power, to control your strength, and not to impose your will on others by force. Again, it's closely tied to humility. To be humble is not to think less of yourself, but to think of yourself less. I find this line from the book of Numbers amusing. It says, "Now Moses was a very humble man, more humble than anyone else on the face of the earth." Irony is bragging about how humble someone is. But we all know people like this. We all know people who would give you the shirt off of their backs. They would open their home for a dinner party in a moment's notice. They would drop everything they're doing to help you out of a bad situation. And these people, when talking about personality types, are called helpers. They're driven by a need to be needed. They want other people to call on them for help. They're gracious hosts, warm and inviting to strangers, and really generally pleasant to be around. But while they often put on a humble, meek exterior, an attitude of pride is really lurking just below the surface. This pride leaks out when they feel unappreciated or taken for granted. They can become indignant when they help someone out and they don't get a thank you in return. If their actions go unnoticed, it can drive them crazy to the point of burnout. Think back to the story of Mary and Martha in Luke chapter 11. Martha is slaving away in the kitchen while her sister is sitting at Jesus' feet with the other disciples. And Martha gets angry and tells Jesus to tell Mary to help her. Pride and humility are two sides of the same coin. Humility can be easy to fake, but when tested, the pride will almost always reveal itself. Ironically, for a helper to become healthier, they need to spend more time focusing on themselves. The pride that's hidden below the meek facade is fed by praise, acknowledgement, and by being needed. So helpers actually need to starve that pride by learning to say no to others and setting boundaries. When they're able to starve their pride and get free from the trappings of outward validation, then they can become truly healthy and happy helpers who serve not from a place of pride, but from a genuine humility. Or as Peterson words in the Message, you're blessed when you're content with just who you are, no more, no less. When helpers are able to live out of a place of genuine humility, they find within themselves the love and acceptance they always craved from outside sources. And they no longer need to be needed with no regard to their own needs. Rather, they can now find ways to fill their own cup so they have something more to pour into others.